Welcome to our exploration of ransomware, once a minor cyber nuisance, now a full-blown digital pandemic. Doctor, can you start by describing how ransomware grew from its early days into the threat we face today?
Certainly. Ransomware first appeared in the late 1980s, but its real surge began in the 2010s, fueled by the rise of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. These allowed attackers to demand untraceable payments, making large-scale extortion far more viable.
So, the digital interconnectedness of modern society must also play a role in its expansion. How has that amplified the impact and reach of ransomware?
Absolutely. Modern businesses, hospitals, and even governments rely heavily on networked systems. A single attack can now ripple through entire organizations or sectors, causing disruption far beyond the original target.
Let's break down the technical side. What are the main types of ransomware, and how do they differ in their methods and impact?
Three main types dominate. Encrypting ransomware scrambles your files until you pay. Locker ransomware locks you out of your entire device. And doxware threatens to leak private or sensitive data if demands aren't met.
That last one sounds especially concerning for organizations with sensitive data. Are attackers using doxware more frequently now?
Yes, the double extortion method, encrypting data and threatening exposure, has surged. Groups like Maze pioneered this, forcing victims to pay not just to regain files, but also to protect their reputations.
Let's put this in perspective with real-world cases. Which ransomware attacks have truly shaped public awareness and policy?
CryptoLocker in 2013 was a watershed moment, introducing strong encryption and Bitcoin ransoms. Then, in 2021, the Colonial Pipeline attack disrupted fuel supplies across the U.S., showing how ransomware can threaten national infrastructure.
And healthcare wasn't spared either, right? The WannaCry attack in 2017 made headlines for crippling the UK's National Health Service.
Exactly. WannaCry affected over 200 zero computers worldwide in just days, delaying surgeries and jeopardizing patient care. These incidents forced governments to rethink cybersecurity priorities.
Ransomware's reach goes beyond technical disruption. What are the economic implications for organizations and society at large?
Financial losses are staggering. The global cost exceeded $20 billion in 2021 and keeps rising. These figures include ransom payments, lost productivity, legal fees, and even fines from regulatory breaches.
Is paying the ransom always the end of the story? Or do victims face lingering costs even after payment?
Paying the ransom rarely guarantees full recovery. According to a SOFO study, only 8% of organizations recover all their data post-payment, and many face further demands or reputational damage.
The consequences become even more severe when critical infrastructure is targeted. What makes sectors like healthcare and energy especially vulnerable?
These sectors often use legacy systems that can't be quickly patched, and downtime can endanger lives or public safety. The Colonial Pipeline and NHS attacks are stark examples of how ransomware can disrupt essential services.
Has the education sector also faced similar threats?
Absolutely. Schools and universities have limited cybersecurity budgets but hold valuable data, making them soft targets. For instance, a 2022 study found that 56% of U.S. schools experienced ransomware attacks.
Apart from financial costs, what social and psychological impacts do ransomware attacks have on organizations and individuals?
Victims often experience severe stress and anxiety, not just from data loss, but from fear of blame and reputational fallout. Employees sometimes fear for their jobs, while executives worry about public trust.
Does this pressure influence decision-making, like whether to pay the ransom?
Definitely. The urgent need to restore operations and avoid bad publicity often drives organizations to pay, even against law enforcement advice, perpetuating the ransomware cycle.
Let's walk through a typical ransomware attack. How do attackers infiltrate systems, and what happens next?
Most attacks start with phishing emails or exploiting software vulnerabilities. Once inside, the malware encrypts files using strong algorithms like AES 256, and a ransom note appears demanding payment, usually in cryptocurrency.
What about the more recent double extortion tactics?
Attackers now often exfiltrate sensitive data before encrypting it. If the victim refuses to pay, the stolen data may be leaked publicly, amplifying the pressure to comply.
With the threat so pervasive, what are the best defenses against ransomware? Let's start with prevention and detection.
Regular offline backups can make recovery much easier. Applying security patches promptly blocks many attacks. Advanced endpoint protection, think firewalls, antivirus, and behavioral analytics helps detect threats early.
And how should organizations respond if an attack does occur?
A well-rehearsed incident response plan is crucial. This includes isolating affected systems, informing law enforcement, and communicating transparently with stakeholders to mitigate damage.
Since ransomware is a borderless problem, how are governments and international agencies coordinating to fight it?
Multinational task forces like the G7 and agencies such as Europol and the FBI now share intelligence and conduct joint operations against ransomware gangs. For example, the takedown of REvil involved coordination across several countries.
Are there challenges with differing national laws in these efforts?
Yes, legal differences and jurisdictional issues can slow investigations. There's growing momentum for universal cybercrime treaties to streamline cross-border cooperation.
Let's look ahead. How are emerging technologies like AI, IoT, and quantum computing shaping the ransomware landscape?
AI is already helping attackers automate phishing and evade detection. The explosion of IoT devices, think smart hospitals or factories, offers countless new entry points. Quantum computing, once mature, could break current encryption, rendering many defenses obsolete.
So, are defenders using these technologies too, or is it an arms race?
It's definitely an arms race. While AI powers smarter defenses, attackers adapt just as fast. The key will be proactive investment in quantum-resistant cryptography and robust IoT security standards.
As we wrap up, what practical steps can organizations and individuals take to build a ransomware-resistant future?
Continuous employee training, robust backup strategies, and investment in threat intelligence are critical. For governments, enacting clear cyber incident reporting laws and fostering public-private partnerships can strengthen collective defense.
And for listeners at home, what's the single most important action they can take?
Be vigilant against phishing attempts. Most attacks start with a single click. Regularly update devices and backup data offline. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility in this interconnected era.